Hello and welcome to the first upload for my BBL SuperCoach series in 23 and 24. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a first team. I've had a couple of teams I've uploaded on Twitter, obviously assessed them, and I haven't done an actual team on YouTube as of yet. We're just over a month away, a month from tomorrow actually, until the first game. So coming up, we're about 4 weeks away, so I thought now would be a better time than any to drop a team, and I'm open to any thoughts and suggestions in the comments, obviously. So yeah, BBL SuperCoach for me goes all right. I do look forward to it a fair bit because off season of football, it keeps you occupied. And last year was the first proper year I had a go at it, and gee, we did pretty well. So I remember on Christmas I was ranked 150th, or I think it was 156 overall, and I lurked around the top 500 for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. And then I went to Tasmania with a mate for a bit of a road trip. I don't know if anyone has been to Tasmania that's watching or lives in Tasmania. Shout out, bloody beautiful place. But when you're traveling around, especially in the most sort of isolated areas, you don't have much service. So I missed 2 or 3 lockouts in a row. Butchered all of my captains and trades. I tried really hard. I couldn't watch any games. I couldn't follow it. I was at our sink, and I think I ended up finishing in the top 3K, which I was pretty flat with. But obviously that's what can be expected, and I sure enough gave up because it was about. Well, I was coming into the finals time anyway. It was about the last 2 or 3 weeks for ironically, for BBL until the actual final. So it's coming up to the end of the season because it was, well, the end of the BBL season. It was sort of mid to late January. So, yeah, the interest really started to check out. Hopefully that doesn't happen this year and we can have a full run at it. Who knows where we would have finished if we just kept going and actually had service. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. As a result, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'll do my best, and I don't think I'm too bad at it. I've gotten a lot better than I have in previous years, more aggressive. But we're going to have a look at the side, and this is sort of why I've had some success. So every player in this team has a double, on field anyway, if not a triple. So Brisbane Heat have a triple. Load up on as many Heat players as you can. Why do Heat have a triple header? I don't know. It's the first and only triple header for the whole season. So let's absolutely abuse it. So this is the side. So South African Quinton de Kock, he's a very, very good player. 180k pay up for a good wicket keeper who has a double. That's good enough for me. So the wicket keepers on the Heat side aren't too flash. You got Billings and Pearson. It's one or the other for me. I'm not really 100% sure which one I want to lock in, so I've just decided to go for a big gun. So we got de Kock, who should play some pretty good cricket. We'll see how we go. He's over 30% owned, so yeah, he's not going to hurt you too much if it goes sour. So I'm pretty happy going defensive with a Renegades player here. That is fine. McDermott on the bench. I can't remember what game it was. I reckon it was the one-dayers. I think he smacked over 140 playing for... Was he Queensland or Tasmania? I can't remember. I could have swore he was playing for a Queensland team, even though he plays for the Hurricanes. I could be bloody wrong there. But it was that particular game anyway. And yeah, he was smacking him around. So 88k, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not going to field him, but he's going to make some cash on the bench, which we do need that for the upcoming weeks. Josh Inglis, I'm not sure if he plays Test cricket or not. He's there for now anyway. I think he's the best available wicketkeeper, batsman, alongside Quinton, which should be good. Munro, he's an absolute lock for me. He should at least, I reckon, 1 out of 2 of his games, he should absolutely smack a big score. Had a very, very nice breakout season in BBL last year, which was nice. Matty Renshaw, does he play Test cricket? I'm not 100%. He's there at the moment for a placeholder. I can always swap him around. I don't mind him. I think he's a very good player. Remember, in BBL, you go aggressive. I mean, you have him in just for his triple, and then if he's playing Test cricket, you can just get rid of him. You sideways trade. It's a different format to AFL SuperCoach. It's not like you hold your players for the whole season. I mean, I'll have Inglis for probably 1 week, and then I'll trade him up to Matty Short. That's the idea there. I try to keep a little bit of money in the bank. What have I got? 62k. So it's not much, but at the same time, it's not too bad. So, yeah, my plan will be to go a couple down to strikers players, and then, priority to get Matt Short in for the round 2 doubleheader, which Adelaide Strikers have. They're the only team that have a doubleheader in the following round. So keep that in mind. Sam Billings, I did discuss. Not 100% sure. A bit iffy. I don't even know if he's in their best sort of 10 or 12 players. I have no idea. But if Renshaw or I can't remember the other players that possibly playing Test cricket. Obviously, Quadra and Lamashane are playing Test cricket. So, look, I think he does play short term anyway. As a result, we only need him for the triple header, and then we can get rid of him. That's fine. Josh Philippe, he's at a very reasonable price, isn't he? He's over 50% owned, and rightly so. He's got the double chance. I anti-potted him last year, and it went bloody magnificent. He butchered it every single week because he's such a good player in previous years, and people would just pick him even if he had a single match, which is, look, I'm not in that category. I will not do that. But because he got the double header, I'm going to loophole him with Brown, who was a really nice rookie, had one spectacular game last year and just sort of faded in and out. He's the sort of player who can go, he's either going to go 40 plus or get a duck. So I don't mind Brown as that loophole, plays the first game. The Heat do play the first game, actually, I reckon. It might be against the Stars. Yeah, it is. So that's nice. I'm going to utilise that loophole, see what Brown does, and then obviously field Philippe if that falls through. So I think I've played pretty well there. Darcy Short on the bench. I'm preparing for the following double. So, yeah, lighting up on as many Heat players, as many, like primarily, and then obviously players with their doubles, like your Stars, your Renegades, your Scorchers. Seems like every team has their double. And then in round 2, obviously Adelaide have the double header, which is awesome. They're the only team that have that double. So I've got a couple of strikers players on the bench that I probably won't use for the first round, but then going forward, I'll be already ahead of the competition. So that's my strategy personally, and I think that's going to be pretty effective. We'll just wait and see what happens there. So that's the batting lineup. Pretty happy with it thus far. Open to changes and suggestions, obviously. I do check the comments, and definitely get around my Twitter as well. Spillis11. I think that's my old Insta. Spillis SuperCoach. I'll drop it down anyway so you can see. But suss it out. I'll do heaps of BBL stuff behind the scenes as well. So at bowlers, Nessa, probably the easiest pick of the season. He's gonna be a really nice player. I remember bringing him in just before I went to Tassie last year. Chucked the VC on him and he got a hat trick. So that was bloody beautiful. We love that. I reckon that was actually around Christmas time, and that's what actually got me to that 156 overall. So we love that. Johnson should definitely play. You'd think he's just a bit of a placeholder Heat player. Should get some games and play well. Hopefully he's serviceable. And this is my pod. So a lot of people will have Glenn Maxwell for this one. I'm anti-podding him because I was going to say that the Stars have the following bye, but that just doesn't, why are you picking Ralph? Well, the reason I'm picking Harris Ralph is, I said about 2 months ago, or maybe a month ago, I can't remember, it's going back a little bit now, that he was going to be my first pick player in BBL. That was before I was aware of the fixtures. But he had 4 wickets against Bangladesh in, I reckon it was like ICC World Cup or something like that. I can't remember. It feels like a while ago, but I just remember that particular game. His bowling speed is over 150 kilometres average. He's playing in the BBL, so he's going to dominate. And we can't forget his hat-trick that he got in 2019 against, I reckon it was Sydney Thunder. I think he's an absolute superstar, and it's good to see him back in the Stars colours. He's my favourite Stars player as a Stars supporter, so definitely picking him with a lot of bias in me. So, he's an absolute entertainer, and I think he's going to be a really nice selection and a really nice pod. He's in about, I want to say 6% of teams. So I just think with the double header, he's going to do some serious damage, and then we'll just get rid of him coming in around 2 when he's got his bye, or just bench him for following weeks, because I just reckon he's a really nice pick, and I think he'll do some quiet damage. And I love a nice pod. People know that if you follow the channel, we love a pod. I picked Jared Lyons in 2021 SuperCoach, and he was less than 1% ownership, and it was magnificent. I know that's AFL stuff, but same sort of concept. Harris Ralph is going to be my pod. We'll see how we go. But yeah, definitely brave going against Glenn Maxwell, who has been up and down at times, particularly up in recent form. But I don't know, just anything can happen with Maxi, and if he spuds it up, I'm going to be miles ahead. But if he doesn't, I'm going to be behind. Obviously, he's in 50% owned, 50+% owned as well. He's one of the highest owned players along Josh Philippe. I'm going to pick Philippe and Antipod Maxwell. I just don't think there's enough point of difference in picking both of them, so I'm going to take a risk, and yeah, that's what BBL is all about. So happy with Harris Ralph. We'll see how that goes. Kuhneman, he was a really nice rookie last year, and I think he's definitely cemented his place in the side. So at 104k for triple header, can't go too badly wrong. And then Swepson's there as well. He's nice and cheap and should play games. Team will change. I'll chop and change it. See how we go. I haven't really spent much time on it, I'll be honest. But yeah, in the next 3 weeks or so, I'll be really planning to get this side 100%. So yeah, every single player on field has a double. Most of them have triple in being heat players. And then all the bench as well. So Khan, 132k is a lot of money to have on your bench, but I'm looking forward. I'm trying to prep for round 2 because yeah, we only get a certain amount of trades. I will probably boost as hard as I can for Adelaide Strikers players in round 2, but at least when you got Khan and Short on the bench, you're already ahead. So that's my little strategy. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, but the gut feel says that, yeah, I think it's good to plan ahead in BBL because we've obviously got limited trades and the short turnaround. Yeah, it's just everything just moves so quickly. It's an aggressive game. You're just sideways trading. Or you probably trade every single round. Otherwise, you'll have. I don't think there's been a year where I've had 0 trades left at the end of the season. There's always been like 2 or 3 because I wasn't as aggressive. So you just got to trade your ass off and see what happens. And Peter Siddle, he's 75k, double header. See what happens. Yeah, he's old, but the price is just too good to pass up. And a double game's also too good to pass up. So just see what he does. I don't really know if I want to field him regardless, but he should be a nice little cash grab for us. And he can always change anyway. We'll see what happens. A loophole, I don't actually know. There is Owen from, I want to say, the Hurricanes, but he has been playing one-dayers. So does that mean he's best sort of 10 for the Hurricanes? I don't know. So what I'm going to do is just roll the dice in the first game of the Heat, see what Brown does, maybe see what Siddle does the following game, and then make a decision. So if Brown goes off his head, and I'm like, yeah, he's definitely going to be, he's going to go nuts because he's still got another 2 games to go after that first Thursday night game. That's when I'll really decide, well, we might need a loophole. I'm just not sure yet because, yeah, the real cheap guys are 60k. There's not one 60k player with DPP, which makes life so bloody hard. Last year we had, I think it was something Khan with, he was 42k. Bat bowler for the Sixers. That is magnificent. We don't have that luxury this year. So I'm just going to use the whole rolling lockout thing, see what happens. But yeah, this is my first side for BBL 2023 and 4. So hopefully we get a full run at it. No real off-field interruptions in my personal life that sort of disallows me to miss a lockout because of not having service. I've sorted out a strategy with DR, so I am going to a music festival over New Year's Eve, which should be pretty shit hot. Don't know how much service I'm going to have there, so yeah, DR will have access to my team. So, and I trust him as well. A mad trust for DR, so I couldn't think of a better man to look after my team. So yeah, we should be right this season. Hopefully all the way through. Unscathed will be nice, and we'll see if we can do some podcast sort of format things with DR. I don't know what we've got in plan for the saw play in terms of BBL. We'll just see what happens. I don't really think Janif's too hot on BBL, but DR definitely is. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. Open to suggestions in the comments as well. Let me know if you want to see any of that, and then we'll fire up the saw play and get some BBL stuff going. Maybe we'll see how we go. I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're really keen on some BBL stuff. I'll be as consistent as possible. I'll be uploading, well, every single, I know short turnaround is a tough one, but my reviews go for about 4 or 5 minutes max, but they're very consistent. So I'll do my best this season, and I'll drop another team update in the next week or so. Until then, take it easy, look after yourselves, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.